this fun element to it, and you just really go, oh, I wonder what Harv's playing today. You press the button, you hear their new song, and if it was a song you never heard, you're like, oh, this song called Morning in the Dewdrops, and you're just like, oh, let me check it out, and now you become a fan of that song as well. So I think music was very fun on that.
No, you're absolutely right. I remember they used to allow you, I think, like 5 tracks or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would do like radio highlights. Here's clips of the different radio shows. And then if you wanted to listen to something more, you could listen to something more. Or true, I used to do artist management once upon a time. And if you wanted to feature somebody's track, then you could feature somebody's track. And it wasn't like now. I'll go Facebook Live sometimes, not as much as I want to, because you end up getting flagged. You end up getting, licensed, and the show ends up getting cut off. And back in those days, that wasn't happening. It was okay to use it for music.
Yeah.
Here's something else that excited me recently. You did an event in which Chicago's own Troy Guy was a part of it, and Jocelyn Enriquez was also a part of it. And the common denominator was that you all had Filipino backgrounds, and I thought that was so exciting. I don't know if it was an intention of the event, but it wound up being something that excited me, because you're focusing on a culture that maybe doesn't always get the love that they should get. I speak as a Latino in the same way. When we bond together and people can realize, hey, they look like me, they sound like me, and you became relatable. And you do it anyway as an individual, but in this case, it seemed like the event itself put a showcase on a culture that maybe isn't always showcased.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very fun. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it happened, where that was kind of the reason, like, oh, let's kind of put these freestyle artists together that are Filipino or have Filipino backgrounds. But in the end, for me, it was a pleasure because you just got to see these artists from, in the timeline, like, oh, look what Troy's done, look what Jocelyn's done, and then definitely for the fans to be able to look up to us and go, oh, I'm Filipino too, maybe this is something I want to do. It's just very cool to be able to be that face out there for others in our culture, to be able to look up and say, like, oh, I'm so proud to kind of have them be a part of the music that I listen to. So that was very fun, and the concert was fun. They were amazing. Yeah, it was very cool.
How was the fan response? Did they come out in numbers and let it be known that we also come from where you came from?
The fans, actually, they were still all different types of ethnicities. And that was the really cool thing, that one of the biggest highlights of my night, I met a couple of fans that they've gone to some shows that I had done a little bit before that, so they were like repeat, like coming to the shows again. And then I had a fan that I guess he didn't even know that the event was going on. We were having dinner nearby the club, and he just caught me. He just saw me eating lunch. I mean, he saw me having dinner with Aussie Star and Troy, and he's like, "Are you Sharyn Maceren?" And all of our friends are looking at him like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I'm a big fan," So it was these random moments of like kind of meeting fans. And then I think one of the biggest highlights at the end was meeting this fan. Her name is Michelle Woods, and she was literally just like crying, saying, "Thank you so much."
Wait, is this the one where you got a bear hug of a hug and you posted
Yeah,
pictures?
I think we were bear hugging for 3 minutes. It was such a long meet and greet with her.
She was crying.
Because to her, it was like the chance of a lifetime to meet. And for me, you don't really realize the kind of effect I think sometimes you might have on people. Sometimes you're just, for example, you might just be thinking, oh, I'm going to help these kids today, or oh, I'm going to do this show today. But to somebody else, it means more to them than what you are trying to even do. And so that was like a very special moment to me, that to meet with the fans after the show, because for me, sometimes I'm making music that I love, trying to share music with people, make people happy. But at that moment, she really, that fan, Michelle, she really let me know that I guess what I'd been doing all these years had inspired her to maybe sing. It inspired her to be happy. It had just inspired her for a lot of things. And so that really was one of the biggest highlights of that event, which was it was called a Red Carpet Affair, and it was part of the I Love Freestyle Music Tour, which is going on right now all throughout the United States. It's being hosted by Zeke's Entertainment, which is Zeke and Kathy, and it's just amazing. And they have another show coming up, which is in San Francisco, and it's a freestyle yacht party on the 7th. So
that is so cool. I was booked by him to host one of those events in Florida, and then I wound up again. It's been tough with the health, and I wasn't able to make it out to Florida. But he's coming back here in November, and they're going to use me here, so I don't have to fly.
Oh, sweet. Very, very cool. Yeah, their event was so fun, and I'm just so thankful that they invited us, and I'm glad to be part of their tour.
Being a part of this tour means that you are traveling with legends of freestyle, means that you are performing and witnessing shows that feature songs that are older than you. That's a little interesting to me, because you have found yourself knee-deep in the freestyle movement, and whether you literally decided I'm going to be a freestyle act or not, you were a dance music artist and you were a summer music artist, and you were a fun music artist just because that's what you did, and then you fell into a genre that features everybody being older than you and songs being older than you, but you loved the culture.
Yeah, well, freestyle and dance music were probably my first biggest loves listening to music. I actually, there were times, I'm trying to think, like we'd have a party in 6th grade, and all of the music that we would play we'd have a dance at my school, and all of the music that was played was part of my collection, and I was playing like the Cover Girls, and I was playing like Expose, and I was playing, just so many people, I can't even remember. It was just Brenda K. Starr. Almost everybody that's kind of in the freestyle world, that we were playing them. So I can't, when I think about it every so often, when I run into the artists Angel also was at the show, even though you said that it was mostly freestyle. At the end, she was added to the lineup. So Angel from the Cover Girls was also at a Red Carpet Affair on the I Love Freestyle Music Tour. So that was a moment with her and with Jocelyn where I was like face to face with these artists that I grew up listening to, grew up loving, and sometimes you just like think to yourself like, whoa, this is like pretty cool. This is pretty amazing, because before they were just kind of a voice on a record that I listened to, and now like here we are performing together and sharing the stage.